Hello and welcome to episode number 11 of the Computercraft tutorials. So last episode we made it so that our turtle knows its orientation and also changes its orientation correctly when it turns left or right. And this episode we're going to be implementing the coordinates and making sure that our turtle can change its coordinates depending which direction it's facing, whether it's going backwards or forwards. So let's go right in here. So we defined our x, z and y coordinates last episode, and for now they'll be hard-coded, but later on we'll make this a little bit better rather than hard-coding them in. For now this will do. Right, so normally when you move the turtle you go turtle.forward or turtle.back. But similarly to the left and right function, we're going to be creating our own functions that will incorporate forward and back, but also do some other things for us, like remember or change the x and z coordinates and the y coordinate depending on which way you're going. So rather than calling it just forward, I'm going to call it move forward, just to give it a different name than the sort of real function. Right. So we're going to have to do something with the x-coordinate, or the z-coordinate, we don't know, it depends which way we're facing. So we're going to need the orientation to figure out whether we have to add something to z, or does it subtract something to z from z, and the same for x. Now you could do this with a bunch of if statements, saying if you're looking at this direction, do plus this, but you're going to need like 4 if statements to do that. So there is a slightly better way to do that in my opinion, and what we're going to do is we're going to remember whether we have to add or subtract from a certain coordinate in an array, and what I'm going to call this is zdiff and xdiff. So zdiff is going to be containing whether we'll be subtracting or adding 1 or minus 1, or 0. So let's say that we're facing west, like we are now. You see when we go forward, nothing happens to z. Maybe we should start with north because it's not in the first place. When we're going north, z decreases. So on the first place, so if orientation is 1, which is north, the zdiff will be minus 1 when we move forward. And when we're moving in the east direction, nothing happens to z stays the same. So the zdiff in the east direction is going to be 0. In the south direction it's going to be 1, and the west direction is going to be 0 again. And the xdiff is going to look very similar, but slightly different. So it's 0 when you're moving north or south, so we'll put 0 here. And then when you're moving east, it's going up. It's going minus to slightly less minus, so plus 1, and a 0, and then it'll be a minus 1 when you go the other way. So this is for going forward. What about when we're going backward though? Now, we could define 2 more arrays, but what you can also do is just take the negative of this array, and it will have the same effect. So let's say you're moving in the z direction, you're going north, but you're looking north, but you're moving backwards. If you're moving forwards, it would be minus 1, but if you take the negative of that, so you're moving backwards, it would be 1, and the negative of 0 is still 0. So we don't need the 2 extra arrays for going backwards, we can just use these and make them negative. So let me show you how this is going to work. So when you move forward, we're going to be saying xcoord is equal to xcoord plus xdiff for orientation. So if our orientation is either, let's see what it was, kind of forgot now, is either east or west, so either 2 or 4, it'll add something or subtract something depending on which way you're looking, and if it's south or north, it will do nothing because you're not moving in the x-axis. Okay, and obviously we'll have to do the same for the z-chord. It's equal to z-chord plus z-diff and also orientation. There we go. So that's all we have to do to make sure that the x and z coordinates are done correctly, and then we can actually do the turtle dot forward. There we go. Right, and that looks good, right? So we can test that out. What we'll do is we'll do for I is equal to 1 to 3, say, do, and so we'll move forward with our new function, and we will print, let's say, x This is going to be a very long string, so bear with me here. And I'm not very good at typing. X chord, concatenate that with Z, let's put a space, Z, and dot dot Z chord. That'll do for now because I'm not doing anything with the Y coordinate yet. Right. Save. Exit. Query. Oh, and it seems I did something wrong. Line 36 apparently. One thing that I really hate about this editor is there's no line numbers. Oh, here we go. Don't need that last quotation mark. Bloop, bloop, bloop. There we go. So we've moved forward, and as you can see, our x coordinate went from minus 165 all the way to minus 167. So let's see if that's right. We're on minus 16. Oh, actually minus 164 here. I guess I put the wrong start value. 165, 166, 167. Oh no, wait, because it didn't print the first time. Yeah, that's right. So we ended up on minus 167. That's correct. Let me just block off this hole before I drop the turtle in there. And we can also see this will work going the other way. Oh, let me just so we've got a slightly different coordinate now. We are on x minus 163, z 194, same y. Our orientation is now north, which is 1. And there it goes. So now we see we're going minus in the z. And I guess I could try it for positive as well. We ended up at Z191, which is correct. Put it on the same place, except we are now looking to the south. And disk/query. There we go. And now it went into the positive direction of the Z axis, and it's correct, so good. And I'm going to presume it works in the other way on the X as well. So there we go. However, let's change this up again. Minus 164, 195, same y. Let me stand here a minute. Disk/query. Right, so it's moving forward. It did it 3 times, and it thinks it's at Z198, but it's not. and it's because I was in the way. And if I get out of the way, it's not going to move anymore because it thinks it's already done it. Now the thing is that when you do the turtle.moveForward function, it tries to move forward, but if it fails, it's like, oh well, I tried, and it then just goes on to the next step. But this is really going to mess up our coordinates if this happens, and we're going to get completely lost and have no idea where we are anymore. So somehow we need to fix this so that if it fails to go forward, it either tries again the whole time until it can. Now one thing we're going to have though is that, of course, I haven't done anything with digging yet, so if there's a block in the way, it's going to have the same problem. So we're also going to have to incorporate digging into our function. As this is a quarry bot, I'm not too worried about it digging things it's not supposed to dig, because we're going to be very careful about where we send it. But in principle, if you send it the wrong way, it's going to start digging through everything. So try not to send it into buildings that you want to keep. So right now we do turtle.forward. So one thing we can do is turtle.dig before we go forward, which will help. So if there's anything in our way, we'll dig it first, and then we'll move forward, so that there's no blocks in our way. We're sure about that, but there could be players in our way, and you can't dig players or animals or anything like that. So what are we going to do? How do we know when we've moved forward or not? Well, luckily, the turtle.forward function, it returns a Boolean value, and if it manages to move forward, it'll return true, and if it fails, like there's something in the way for some reason, it'll return false. So what we can do is the following. Let's make a Boolean value. Let's call it moved. Whoops, one more space. There we go, moved. And we'll make it equal to false. There we go. And what we'll say is while not moved, we'll do turtle.forward. But what we'll do is we'll save the moved variable into, or we'll save the output of turtle.forward into moved. So if it failed to move, it will put false in moved, and it will continue to try this until turtle.forward returns true, at which point moved will be true and not moved will be false, and it will skip the loop. And for now, I guess I can just print something in here saying oh, yeah, sorry about that. Print I tried to move. There we go. Print I moved. Happy face. There we go. So now when we get in the way, hopefully it will do something more clever. Unexpected symbol, that's definitely not very clever. Strings, I beg your pardon. Unexpected symbol, okay. Oh, yeah, this symbol. Okay, we use not instead. Yeah, I guess a different programming language that uses that, but we'll go for not and then moved now. It's trying to move. It's like, I'm trying to move. I'm trying. I'm failing. And then it's like, oh, okay, now I can move. So there we go. And that means that if something's in the way, it'll wait for it to get out of the way. Like if there's a sheep or a cow or me, it's not going to mess up the coordinate system that we have. Okay. So and we don't have to worry about blocks because we're going to be digging blocks anyway. If I just put this guy back. We'll put some blocks in his way. Disk/quarry. There we go, he's just going to mine the blocks if they're in his way. So that's that. We can now move forward without anything going wrong. I think that'll do for this episode. And we'll continue with the more moving and coordinate functionality in the next, like going up and down and stuff. So, hope to see you then, and thanks for watching.